Scott with a day in the life of an HVAC tech. This is my second trip out to this customer's house. This is a rental house. The first time I came out, the rollout switch had tripped. Where I have the camera pointed at or focused at is the rollout switch. This is a manual rollout switch. Max temp on this rollout switch is 300 degrees. I have the rollout switch bypassed with another rollout switch down here. The max temp on this rollout switch is 350 degrees. Now, there are a couple different reasons why a rollout switch would trip. One, which is a fairly common for a gas furnace, is the heat exchanger is getting too much oxygen into the heat exchanger. The air blowing from the blower motor making contact with the natural gas forces or pushes the gas out or pushes the heat out towards the rollout. And that's why it's mounted on the burner assembly. And when it reaches that max set temperature, which for this one here is 300. And like I said, the other one that I manually or bypassed is 350. So the temperature is going to be now at a higher cutoff. The second reason is that the rollout switch is going bad, and it's got a bad connection. Now, when I ohm that rollout switch out, it is showing a solid connection, or a pretty solid connection. Okay, that's a solid connection. So it hasn't rolled out yet, or it hasn't opened up. The switch is a normally closed switch, like we talked about with the pressure switch. It's a normally closed switch, or normally open switch. These are normally closed. So the pressure switch has a different, it's normally open and it closes when it senses the vacuum. The rollout switch and also the high limit switch, which is also another switch that reads the temperature. Some units have the high limit switch mounted onto the heat exchanger firebox, and that basically is the metal that with insulation on it that is going in between the heat exchanger and the surface of the control area. So we wouldn't want the controls to get overheated. Now, what I did is I jumped this out so that the system would run continuously in heat. So I would be able to see when the rollout switch tripped. Right now I've got it bypassed, so I'm going to put it back on to the rollout switch, and I'm going to time it and see how long it takes for it to trip. Now, another thing I checked was the temperature on the surface of the heat exchanger, and we're getting a reading of 4, 5. Now this is a laser temperature reading, so you get a little bit of variance there depending upon where you're pointing it. You see it's going from 200 to 350 and so on and so forth. So, you know, the further you get away from that, so down here we're getting 105, 116, and so on and so forth. So it's a lot lower down here than it will be up here. This is going to be hotter because you have more heat generated up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stop recording for a moment, and we'll come back, and after I have tested the rollout switch to see how long it takes for it to trip. Scott here with the day in the life of a heated and air conditioning tech. I went ahead and put my wires back onto the original rollout switch. And I forgot to mention the other reasons that a rollout switch could open up. One being the orifices have too much or not getting sufficient gas in from the burners, and the orifices are on the other side of this burner assembly, and that's what shoots the natural gas through there, and then it comes in contact with the spark ignition or hot surface igniter assembly for the smart valve. But it appears that now after 2 cycles of 20 minutes each, and I still have it jumped out, so it has, the rollout switch has opened up, and so I did 2 cycles of 10 minutes each. The temperature is almost 300, so that's probably why it's tripped out, because it's reached the max set point temperature. And I'm just going to double check here, and the rollout switch to yeah, the rollout switch is bad. It's tripped again. So I'm going to go ahead and put my cutoff rollout at 350, and hopefully that'll take care of it. Since this rollout switch has tripped now 3 times at 300, it just may be getting too hot. The other reasons, and sorry to mention them in order, but crashing the orifices, not getting enough gas flow, heat exchanger cracked, oxygen coming in contact with the natural gas and pushing the heat back towards the rollout switch, dirty orifices, dirty filter, not enough airflow, and bad switch. So we're going to go with bad switch today, and hopefully that'll take care of it and we won't have to come back out. I was going to also show you 2 other types of switches. This is a snap disc high limit switch, and it has a adjustable setting. You can adjust it from 135 to 175, and then this is a one-time rollout switch. It has a max temp of I'm not sure, I'm trying to read on there. I should have looked at it before I started showing it. Oh, you can't even see it. Let's see, where is it? Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm looking through the viewfinder, and this is a one-time rollout switch. It has a shut-off temperature as well, but this one here, you can't manually reset it. So, and when it opens up, you just replace. This one here is also not a manual reset, but the purpose of, or function of this is normally to mount inside the heat exchanger, and this is where it reads or senses the temperature here, and when it gets to that max set point, it'll shut off until it cools off again. So anyway, those are some fun facts. So we're going to go ahead and replace the 300 cutoff rollout with a 350, and hopefully that'll take care of the problem and we won't have to come back again. So Scott with the day in the life of a heating and air conditioning tech, with learning about a rollout switches. So Scott out. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.